Hello dear students, welcome back again for our lesson plant life which is going on. Okay, we are done with first part. You can see a photosynthesis. Now the next part is of respiration. But before going ahead, I want to tell you that please complete the assignment for today which I am giving, as well as the Google test, because I'm going to consider those marks, okay, for assignment 10 marks, and for Google test 10 marks, which will be considered for your internal assessment, okay, for 20 marks. So please do complete this and try to submit assignment. I'll be giving you few more days, okay. Google form you can give it today itself. For assignment I can give you few days, okay. 4 to 5 days you can take to complete and give it back to me, okay. You can take the pictures and post it to me individually on my number, not on the group, okay. Please do not disturb the group. You can post your assignments on my WhatsApp number. Fine children, so let us go ahead with today's content. Types of respiration. We are going to see what is respiration, its type and its type. First, respiration occurs either in the presence or in the absence of oxygen. How many of you know what is respiration? Respiration means the oxidation of the food. That means the food gets oxidized, in the sense it gets broken into smaller and smaller pieces, so that okay, so this respiration occurs either in the presence or absence of oxygen, okay. It is thus of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. The one obviously which is happening in the presence of oxygen will be aerobic respiration, that we are going to see what are those terminologies, meanings of those terms, okay. So there are two criteria, either it will be in the presence of oxygen or absence of oxygen. That much you have to remember, okay. The first type is aerobic respiration. So the type of respiration in which glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. Fine. The respiration in which glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen is called as aerobic. Fine. So in this process, the glucose is broken down completely into carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so the end products will be carbon dioxide and water, releasing energy in the form of energy-rich molecules called as ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. These are the chemical molecules formed. Okay, this is the name given to the molecules which is in the form of energy. It is also called as energy cells actually. Okay, see, aerobic respiration takes place in almost all living organisms including plants. So this mainly to give you an idea, aerobic respiration will be adapted by all the huge organisms. Anaerobic will be going for the small organisms where they don't have to do much activities, okay, like microorganisms. So we are going to see that furthermore, but for now, yeah, let us see here. So almost all the living organisms require oxygen for respiration. The word equation for aerobic is given here in the statement. Glucose will, in the presence of oxygen, will get broken down into carbon dioxide and water, okay. And when this process happens, a certain amount of energy is liberated, so plus energy, okay, which is equal to 38 ATP in the case of aerobic respiration. This is a general energy liberated, not it doesn't apply to all the organisms, but generally in this range. Further type is anaerobic respiration. The type of respiration in which glucose is broken down in the absence of oxygen is called anaerobic respiration. Fine. So the respiration and where oxygen is not involved is called anaerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, glucose is only partially broken down, the end products being ethanol and carbon dioxide. Okay, here in this kind of respiration, the glucose will not be completely broken down. That is why it goes into the products which forms ethanol or alcohol and CO2. The energy output in anaerobic respiration is much less than in aerobic respiration. Here, the energy liberated, because it is not such a heavy thing happening. Okay, when it's a heavy thing been broken down, more energy is liberated. Here, small things are getting broken down, so not much of energy is liberated. Examples are yeast and some bacteria respire anaerobically. This is important. Yeast and some bacteria are the examples of organisms which undertake anaerobic respiration. The word equation for anaerobic respiration is given below. Glucose, which is broken down in the absence of oxygen. Now when there is no oxygen, what do you think is helping to get the food broken down? It is obviously some enzymes which are not mentioned here, but to just for extra knowledge, there are some enzymes which are helping for the glucose to break down. Glucose will not just break down on its own, it will need some help. Enzymes are there, fine. So what will be the end product? Alcohol and carbon dioxide plus little energy, that is just 2 ATP. There is one activity now aimed to observe an anaerobic respiration in yeast. So we are going to take a conical flask, a teaspoon of baker's yeast, 3-4 spoons of sugar, warm water. Okay, pour some warm water at 35 to 40 degree into flask. Add 3 to 4 teaspoonful of sugar into it and make it sugar solution. Stir it well and add 1 teaspoonful of baker's yeast. Shake it well. Okay, fit a deflated balloon over the neck of the flask. So deflated means जिसमें हवा नहीं भरी हो. Place the setup in a warm place and observe it. You are going to see gas bubbles are observed in the sugar solution, causing foaming in the sugar solution, and this deflated balloon is seen to be inflated. Because there are bubbles rising up and up, the balloon will get inflated. Okay. Conclusion: the gas is CO2, and from where is it coming? Coming from the baker's yeast, which is released due to anaerobic respiration by the yeast cells. It increases the pressure inside the flask, causing the balloon to inflate. The solution left behind in the flask is ethyl alcohol, because ethyl alcohol is the end product. I know, in the case of anaerobic respiration. Next activity to demonstrate that energy in the form of heat is released during respiration. For this, take 2 flasks, 2 rubber corks with a hole in them, 2 thermometers, 1 handful of dry grain seeds and 1 handful of germinating gram seeds. So one is alive, you can say, and one is dry, which is not seem to be alive, right? Dry they are. So the procedure is place a handful of germinating gram seeds in flask A and dry seeds in the flask B. Ensure that the readings of the thermometers are the same. Now place 1 thermometer each through the cork hole and plug the mouth of both the flask. Make sure that the tip of the thermometers touch the gram seeds. So we are now going to record the initial temperatures in both the thermometers. Leave the setup undisturbed for 1 or 2 days. Then you have to record the temperatures after 2 days. What do you think are you going to observe? The final temperatures in flask A containing germinating seed is higher than in the flask B, where we have kept the dry seeds. Obviously, we conclude that germinating seeds respired, due to which energy was released in the form of heat. Okay, so this led to the rise in the temperature. Simple activity, very interesting activity. Now, respiration and plants. See, how does it happen? Plants carry out exchange of gases through stomata by the simple process of diffusion. Stomata are present mostly on the undersurface of the leaves and on young stems, that we all know. In woody stems, stomata are replaced by small holes called lenticels. See, this is the stomata in leaf and these are the lenticels in dry wood. Inside the leaf, the loose packing of the parenchyma cells and the large air spaces below the stomata provide an interconnected network of air spaces. That means there is lot of space. In short, there is a network of space because parenchyma cells are loose. Then there are air spaces already there. So air is able to invade very easily there, which allow efficient diffusion of respiratory gases, which are O2 and CO2. So you can refer page number activity for the to show that germinated plants respire. Okay. Now this I'm not going to I haven't typed here. You can go through it yourself, and you'll have to learn the observation and the conclusion for the same. Okay. The last part of the lesson is what the differentiate between photosynthesis and respiration. Okay. Photosynthesis, it is a process by which plants manufacture food, whereas in respiration, it is a process by which food is broken down to liberate energy. So the definition, first parameter, the second is it requires sunlight and thus can take place during the day. Respiration, sunlight is not required and hence it takes place throughout the day and night. Energy for the process, or in photosynthesis, energy for the process of is obtained from the sunlight obviously, and energy is liberated during this process is formed in the form of ATP. Here energy is required and here energy is released. The reaction is given in the last. The next point is carbon dioxide is used and oxygen is released. Here oxygen is used and CO2 is released. So photosynthesis takes place only in the cells of green leaves and young stems, whereas respiration will take place in all the cells of the plant. And then finally the reaction. Fine. So this is the content for today's session, and this is a small exercise of page number 82. I have already solved it for you. Please check the answers. And before finishing, I'll just try to remind that whatever assignment I'm giving, please complete and submit to me. Say today is Wednesday, by Sunday you please all submit the assignment, okay, for which 10 marks are there. And today's Google test will also be considered for 10 marks as internal assessment. Understood, children? You have any doubt, you can message me. 10 marks of assignment and 10 marks of today's Google test. Okay? I hope the content is very, very easy for you to understand. Respiration, we are not having definition for it, but we are having the types of respiration and their definitions. Aerobic and anaerobic. Fine, no? Then we saw like which are the organisms, what are the examples. Then finally we saw what is the difference between photosynthesis and respiration. Fine, children, we saw what is the exact process and how easy it is for the diffusion of the gases for the plants because of those air spaces in between the cells. And also parenchyma cells are there in the outer epidermal cells. That is also very there are too many spaces in between parenchyma cells. So it becomes easy for the diffusion of the gases. So this is what it is. I wish you all the very best, children, for today's session, and please do not forget to submit your assignments and the Google test. Have a very nice day ahead. All the best. Bye bye.